Are you all ready for our next performer?
Yeah.
All right. Please welcome Lex to the stage. Lex is a slam poet whose talents are requested at events all around the county. Lex performed at last year's Queer Youth Leadership Awards and is this year's Allied Queer Youth Award awardee. Tonight, Lex will be performing My Brother, My Sister, and it's going to be awesome.
Have you seen my sister? You may have missed her if you were looking between the glossy pages of glamour magazines, looking for her booty shake on MTV's latest and greatest, sexiest videos of all time. You would have missed the lock between the pages of fiction spinning stories of Cruella de Vil's spinsters, women lost to old age to be caged, the stories of witches and prudes. Lost in the shelves of blockbusters, one after the other telling stories of helpless and reckless young girls alone in a man's world. You may have missed her as my sister passed you on the street because her story was never told. She's not just a recreation of plastic dreams, the assembly line Stepford wives of fantasies. My sister is the woman rarely spoken of, the extraordinary ambassador to the third world dinner tables of single parents and overworked underprivileged bodies. The underworld of real women surviving in the Holocaust of Hallmark passion and commodified enthusiasm. My sister becomes a dinner-time hero as she feeds her 3 babies from a meal out of no meal. My sister was celebrated for her thick curves or her thick skin that keep her safe when walking the streets. She survives wars on ordinary nights, provides guidance in the midst of violence. See, my sister is 80 and still working at McDonald's because my sister wasn't make-believe. She didn't get rescued like a damsel in distress and didn't curl up in distress when the world turned cold. My sister makes a way out of no way and lets no one stand in her way because my sister is a woman. Raised between misconceptions and fears, she was raised right here, even if we all missed her. Have you seen my brother? You may have missed one another as you were growing into G.I. Joes, celebrated from 5 as wartime heroes. Ignoring. Have you seen my brother? You would have missed him if you were looking at pop culture definitions of masculinity. Interplanetary discovery only allows him to be an extraterrestrial when in relationship to my sister, see, he from Mars and she from Venus, with a universe of excuses between us. Keeping my brother lost in the dark of universal stereotypes of violence, aggression, and disconnection. You would have missed my brother finding one another on the playground for single papa play dates, or making mistakes and not being afraid to ask for directions or accept a hug. See, my brother is a man enough to care and brave enough to release, unshackled from the histories, moment of silence to forgive the ways that violence has left a nation widowed. My brother is a man whose character is determined by the love he shows, the man rarely spoken of who cries gentle in the embrace of his own masculinity, whose security is determined by emotional returns on spiritual investments. Have you seen my brother? The peaceful man manifesting the redefinition of masculine, a man who enlists in parenting and fights only his own miseducation. My brother was raised between expectation and aggression, and he grew up right here, even if we all missed him. You would have missed me if you were looking for one or the other. Some of us fade into the background until we're dragged into the foreground, picked on and bruised on the playground, while this side and that side go round and round trying to figure us out. See, I'm the undefined. The intersection of herstory and history. I'm the evolution of femininity, the reclamation of masculinity, the recaptured possibility when little girls break free from their easy bake ovens and little boys put down their footballs to play with baby dolls. Have you ever seen my sister begging to be free from expectation and aggression? My brother raised between fear and misconception. My sister is my brother. The type of woman with a gentle step wrapped up in bootlaces buried under baggy pants and 2 t-shirts. The type of man with soft curves and a gentle smile buried under tight jeans and a sweater. Have you seen my sister? You could have dismissed him if he passed you on the streets with long hair and a soft face. Have you seen my brother? You could have dismissed her if she passed you on the street with broad shoulders and a high and tight fade. for the unconformed and undefined, the dividing line between authenticity and normality, for every little girl awake in the middle of the night praying for God to have mercy at puberty, for every little boy standing in mommy's mirror with decorated faces and oversized heels, for every bleeding wrist and bruised face, for myself at 13 who never saw a me. Let this be your answered prayer. I see you. For every gender bender warrior, for every midnight dreamer, I see you. If you see my sister, tell him that I have not dismissed him. And if you see my brother, tell her that I love her and that I'm never, ever giving up on her.